Well, we're on our way home. 2:35. Still a long day. Obviously, as many of you know, Jason had broke his foot the other day. He's getting around all right. I know, Addie, he'll be fine. Addie's very concerned. He had a doctor's appointment today, so I told him, you know what? They had moved all the stakes around. I told you guys, I likely won't be able to drive. Not I likely. I won't be able to drive globetrotting, spend that money. A.L. Sund in Compass Rose, D.C., their first stake race will be in the 12th. In Scioto, that's the same day as the baby races. Now, we have more than enough professional people to go with the babies, I'm sure. The problem is I can't get back into Canada. And as somebody said to me today, you better double check that you can go to Ohio. And my understanding is simple. It's our barn. Oh, hey, Addie. It's our barn. It's my understanding that I can absolutely go to Ohio with horses I own and horses that we have that are racing in Ohio. You can do business in Ohio. The problem is coming back. Now, having said that, I'm not a lawyer. I don't work at the border. I don't know. That's my understanding, as it's been told to me by other people. So if it's a lie to you, it's a lie to me. I will check, though. So when it comes to Ohio, the second stake race is moved to the 26th. So if Justin Trudeau doesn't continue to keep the border closed past the 21st, then I'd be fine regardless, but I won't be there on the 12th. Biggest reason being, I can't sit for 14 days, right? If I go to drive on the 12th, that means I miss the babies here, I miss the baby races here, I miss any first starts here, and I'm in Ohio for 14 days, really just working with Kirby and Jason and our Ohio horses, assuming Kirby and Jason can get into Ohio also. The reason I say that is because I've already been told by Northfield that our barn will be up, it will be ready, it will be ready for us to move into. I'll have no problem racing at Northfield. Now, the one thing that they said was, for people out of state, they'll have a separate driver's room. They said, well, you can get changed in your car, which is what I've always done at Northfield anyway. I've never ever got changed that I'm aware of, for the most part, in the Northfield driver's room. So the paddock is right beside where the drivers park, and I just get changed out of my car, which I'll continue to do now. So there's that's out of the way. Not out of the way. It's obviously frustrating for me. Our biggest problem is now getting the horses in to qualify. They said, well, Anthony, we called enter all the horses to qualify for 4 days of qualifiers at Mohawk. And what they said was, well, a couple of these Ohio breds are already qualified. You're not going to have preference over anyone else. And he said, hold on, they're qualified if I race them in Ontario. But if we race in Ohio, they are not qualified at all. So they have stake races on the 12th. We can't hope that we get them raced on the 5th when they open to get a clean line. So I've asked them to enter our horses on the 28th, and we'll be happy to accommodate racing them in Ontario if they need us, happily. So obviously globetrotting's not going to have a race. She's got 160,000 made and 4 wins. So there's no place for her to race. But a horse like A.L. Sund or even spend that money, Compass Rose, D.C., I'm sure there's spots for them. Anyway, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Today was a beautiful day. 22 degrees today. It was good today, y'all. Beautiful day today. I went down to Jason as I was starting this. I went down to Jason's barn and trained all of his horses today. Virtually all the Ohio bred 3-year-olds. I also trained really blue chip, trained great, trained Johan today. I said to them, I don't know whether it's the track being graded or Johan just getting better. That was the best mile he'd ever gone in his entire life this morning at Tomiko Training Center. I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people because Steve and I own all or mostly all of Johan, but we do have Greg and a couple other people that are partners with us. And Steve and I were due for some good luck too. We decided as partners yesterday that Barbie's Crown, there was some swelling in her hind ankles. It could be nothing, but as I said in my video last night, and I said to Steve, where there's smoke, there's fire. All I want to see from a horse is desire, a good work ethic, a good attitude, that drive to become better and work at something. And I see that from Barbie's Crown. So I don't know if she's a solid gold stake filly. I'm sure she could have been a grassroots filly this year. But as I said to him, I put my time and money, and you put your money into the filly. Why don't we protect our I'm always short. Ollie, let her not dump that, please, honey. I'm always quick to not use the I word, the investment word, but Steve and I did put our money into this horse, and he said, I said, if we give her some time and let her grow, I can have her back going in a month. And he goes, yeah, but then are you shortchanging her? And is she going to be ready at the end of the summer, half-assed? Ollie, stop, honey. And those are great questions that I can't answer. So rather than play the what-if game, Steve and I just decided as partners to turn Barbie's crown out for a little bit, 2-3 months, whatever, and let her grow. She's a much bigger filly now than she was even 3 weeks ago. These little kids. So that's thing is Steve and I also have Johan, so I put a huge smile. I'm always, like, when we talk about One My Heart Hanover or other horses, I do have horses that, I get excited about going with. I don't want to say I play favorites, but at the same time, I'm a human being. I do have horses that I'm quite fond of. I do have horses throughout the past and likely in the future that I'm quite fond of, and Johan was one of those horses. So I'm always terrified in the back of my mind that left hind leg he injured last year. It was a suspensory. We did train him back in a different way than we've ever trained a horse with that injury before. Did the way we trained the horse back and the time we gave him mean that he's a better horse now? Did this pandemic give him more training time on our farm track and really help him become a better horse? Maybe. I don't know, but just always crossing my fingers when it comes to Johan. The first thing I'll do tomorrow when I get to the barn is go down and see how Johan looks. But by all accounts, he looked great after he trained, ate all his lunch, looked fine to me. He looked awesome this morning. As I said, I trained everybody. Spend That Money was very good today. Compass Rose DC, who never trains good by herself, trained very good today. Very happy with her. We'll touch the horses up a little vet work before we send them down to Ohio, but I think they all trained very, very, very good today. Who else did I go with? Ailson was good. As I said, really blue chip. Oliver, really blue chip was good. And Sebastian Yu, who never trains good on a half-mile track, so I galloped him today. I galloped him a mile in 157. He didn't trot a mile in 157. He's a lot more comfortable on the gallop. It's funny, we galloped Johan back to the races, right? So Mario, I watched Mario train Sunshine and Shade in 2 minutes at the farm, and he looked awesome. Coming to him at the wire was Inland Beach. Both of those horses looked very, very, very good. Really impressed with both those horses. Who else did Mario train? Jeez, it was a big day. Kevin trained some more. Harry trained some more. Virtually every 3-year-old we have will either qualify, race, or be ready to go to the stakes immediately. So all of the 3-year-olds and up that we have are pretty well ready to go. White Tiger. Somebody asked me, can we get a drone shot of Cavill Hanover? Great question. You know what? I'm going to send Jason a message tonight. Jason will have his boot on. He can maybe go a mile tomorrow with Cavill Hanover for you guys under the drone so you can see him go. Maybe White Tiger is not trained since he come back. He can train easy enough, and so can also Pine. So I'll reach out to Jason tonight. Some of those horses you guys haven't got a chance to see and won't see for at least another month or more. One of my partners on White Tiger said, man, he raced in March. Why does he have to be off so long? To put it plainly and bluntly, because I want him off that long. I don't want him ready before the middle of July. I want that horse to have its proper time turnout, which he did, train back slowly, and mature into the horse we want him to be. I'm not in a big hurry to get White Tiger back to the races. Yes, 100% healed, cleaned up at the clinic in Ohio. He's waiting to come back here to start jogging back. He's not going to be ready till September. August, September. And it's not, we can't just say, oh, they're jogging, that means they're ready to go soon. Every horse is different. And I think it's very important. I think I learned a lot from this pandemic also, right? Horses that we thought were ready to go really weren't, right? They were not ready to go. And I know that we knew Sunshine and Shade wasn't quite ready, and we were going to put more work into him. You and I, everybody knew that. But when it came right down to it, Sunshine and Shade is infinitely better today than he was qualifying back in March. And that's what, he missed 7 weeks? 7 weeks more of training. So that says a lot. Do we need to put a little more training into our horses before we race them? Possibly. Maybe when they're ready to go, they're not really as ready to go as I think they are. Maybe Kevin is closer to being right right now we said Kevin takes his time and takes too long with some horses in my mind. But maybe Kevin's doing it right. Maybe Kevin taking his time. Maybe the old horseman is actually right. And that's not to say that we haven't had luck bringing horses back and racing them. I think every horse is differently, but I definitely can see a difference in some of the horses that had more time. Harry had more time with Trafalgar, put 100 pounds on her. She looks like a beast right now. But today, you know, I thought about this over the last week, but even today I thought about it even more when I saw Sunshine and Shade train. I thought to myself, you know, we knew he needed time, but I wouldn't have given him 7 weeks. And I look at what 7 weeks has turned into, and this horse looks absolutely awesome. So I suppose for those of you out there that saw the qualifier and Sunshine and Shade back in March and dumped your shares, my condolences to you. It was a mistake, because Sunshine and Shade looks some kind of good today. Even the little filly Inland Beach, who really, you know, I think Sunshine and Shade, she likes Inland Beach. Sunshine and Shade is on the tip. He's right there on the edge of maybe he could be better than a grassroots horse. Maybe he could. I don't know. Inland Beach is definitely a grassroots horse, but today they look some kind of good, both of them. Mario also trained, enduring strength, trained in 2.5 last half, 58 over the farm. He's ready to go. Looks like $1 million. This time really helped, right? Because we certainly weren't panicking, but we were looking at enduring strength back in March, saying corks are off. It's been a few weeks. Geez, we just don't see this horse coming forward the way we want. Canadian Titan, another one. And both those horses have looked fantastic the last 2-3 weeks. So everybody has been entered to qualify. There is written on the qualifying sheet is a preference to Ontario horses, knockdown, drag out. Every single horse that we have that is 3 years old is ready to qualify, bar none. So that's that. I guess I lied. Overdue mission will be a couple of weeks. She had that OCD out. I can't go any faster with overdue mission. She had the OCD out. It's only been 3 weeks, not even. She jogged the last 2 days. We're going to jog her throughout. Probably train her on Wednesday. So that's it. A good day today. I said I wouldn't be in a big hurry to update you guys again, but I didn't think I'd be training everything today. Jason's barn looks some kind of good. For those of you asking, hey, you didn't say globetrotting. I didn't train globetrotting today. We did some vet work on her. She's trained in 2-1 last week. Probably train her Saturday a little bit. We'll see how she feels, but I want to see when they're going to get us into qualifying. She's ready to qualify right now. 48 horses going tomorrow. Remen Hanover is going to take the place, I guess, of GW Chrome on the set list that I made up, the rough set list. Because GW Chrome, he made a couple of breaks going in, and then he coughed a little bit today, and I think that may be a good indicator. Maybe it wasn't that we thought there was something going on with him. Maybe he's just a little flat, and that could very well be it. So GW Chrome's already seen the gate. He's great. There's no two ways about his speed. He's a very fast colt. So that's Georgie. No big deal about GW Chrome. He's going to miss tomorrow. Somebody else had asked me, War We Welcome. War We Welcome is a big, heavy filly that is not going to race till July 15th. She certainly does not need to go behind the gate on the 22nd of May. So she saw the gate last week slowly. I might, in between sets, bring her out and put her on the gate, but she is not training tomorrow. And if she does train, it'll be a mile around 220. She will tell us when she's ready to go forward, and it is not tomorrow yet. So that's everything that's going on. I'm sure I missed something, but at the same time, feel free to reach out and ask. There's a number of horses that are going to take some time. I think I went with Carry a Big Stick today. I'm going to turn him out in the field for a little while. If they're not going to make it right now, what's the point of pushing and pushing? You're just looking for trouble, right? I really thought that we'd have all the kinks out of Carry a Big Stick, but he just seems like he can't get by that hurdle that's in front of him, and he's getting bigger by the day. So is it likely that maybe he just needs some time off? Probably. I don't think there's any harm in that. So Carry a Big Stick will probably give him some time. Maybe pitch him out in the field for 3 weeks or so. He'll be ready sometime this summer, but I don't think it'll be for the first stake race in July in Indiana. And if he's not going to be awesome, like you see Fox Valley Britska, that's my girl, Italian Grid. Those horses look good right now. They're ready to go. And I just don't know if putting another 5 weeks of heavy training in to carry a big stick is going to be beneficial for him. So let's give him some time. It's not the end of the world. He will qualify, he will race, but it's not going to be June. So use this time with the fresh new grass just to turn him out and let him relax. So I think that's what we're going to do with GW Chrome, or see, I said it again, with carry a big stick. Who else? Is there anybody else? I don't think so. So everybody else is either scratched for a reason tomorrow, or is going tomorrow. 48 will be going in behind the gate. One is Jason, so 47 of ours will be going in behind the gate. Another number will be ready to go soon. Some we're going to turn out, and some we are going to that needed some time off. So still working on all that, but at the same time, summer 2020 is starting to take shape. We know what Ohio Sire Stakes dates are. We know what it looks like. Border's a little tricky, and I'm going to miss the first stake race, but that is life. There's nothing we can do about that. Pennsylvania is not open yet. Illinois is not open yet. New York will be open in a number of places on June 1st. New Jersey is close to being open also, I would imagine. And also, missing one, Ohio. Oh, Ontario. Ontario, June 5th. We'll be racing at Grand River Raceway, and we'll be racing at Mohawk. So lots of racing coming up. Try and get all these horses qualified and ready to go and off to their prospective destinations. But first things first, we got a great day coming up tomorrow. 48 horses going in behind our little starting gate. 4 at a time, 12 sets. Tomorrow starting at 8:30 in the morning. Take care.